What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Now, the reunion for Siesta Key just aired a few days ago, and you guys, it dropped some bombshells from Madison getting engaged to Brandon, actually admitting that he is now a father. So I'm gonna give you guys an update of it. I'm gonna be looking over here at my computer just because I have a lot of the information over here. But if you haven't watched it, you guys, I'm gonna give you guys an update, but then you need to go watch it. Set it to record in your DVR because it was one of the most, first off, I don't even know if I've ever watched a reunion for Siesta Key, but they done like a Zoom reunion. It was crazy. Like, it was crazy. I do have to say, like, I wish we would have seen more cast members, like Jared's girlfriend, Ashley, and figure out, I don't think they're together anymore, but she was on the season a good bit. She worked for Chloe at the bar. I would have loved to seen her on there. Alex's new baby mama, even though I know they've gotten rid of Alex. And all the cast members agree with the fact that they decided to get rid of Alex over his past racial comments on social media years ago. They got rid of him, so he's not going to be in any future seasons. But I did kind of want to see them bring his baby mama on and talk to her about Juliette hooking up with Alex and how she felt about it. Maybe talk about being a new mom, the baby, how Alex is doing now. But I guess maybe she can't. I don't know. But at least bring her on, because that was like a big part of the season too, was Juliette hooking up with Alex. This reunion was crazy, you guys. They did not bring on everyone that I hoped they would bring on, but the people they did bring on, it was crazy, you guys. The reunion was hosted by Jeannie Ma. She's going to be on the upcoming season of Dance with the Stars, so make sure you watch that if you want to see Jeannie Ma doing the foxtrot, okay? So she talked to Juliette, and Chloe revealed that Juliette and Sam are actually in the process of building a home together. So Juliette and Sam are still together. They're still going strong, even though, oh, messy Kelsey. I normally like Kelsey, but I did not like Kelsey at the end, or I didn't agree with Kelsey at the end of this season. And she even said herself that it wasn't her place to do some of the things that she done this season. Now, the last episode of Siesta Key, Juliette finds out that Kelsey actually told Sam that Juliette wasn't really into him and was still into Alex and in love with Alex, and she was more into the lifestyle and things such as that, which was so not Kelsey's place to tell Sam that. Kelsey and Juliette are roommates. They're best friends. So why would you go to your best friend's new love interest, who you want them to work out, because your best friend cannot get over this douche lord that she's been obsessed with for years? Like, you want her to get over him. Let her move on. So it was really strange that she went to Sam and told Sam all these things, almost like in an attempt to get them to break up or something, because she made comments more than once about Juliette being into the lifestyle or whatever. So if you're a friend, I don't really see why you do that. On the reunion, they showed the clip, they brought it up, and they asked her, you know, basically how she felt about that now. And she said, I'm not going to make excuses for myself. It was not my place at all to have said anything to Sam. My friendship with Juliette means way more than any of that. I effed up. Juliette was caught off guard and was really uncomfortable watching it back. After they showed the clip, it come back to Juliette and she said, well, that's awkward. So it was obviously very uncomfortable for her to watch that play back. But they do talk about the fact that they have made amends and they're trying to move forward. But it's clear that they are not as close as they used to be after Kelsey went to Sam and said the things that she said. Now, Juliette did say that Sam had met her parents the night before, and her parents were very fond of Sam. That after they left meeting him, her dad sent her the okay emoji and said, we like him. So he is parent approved. Kelsey did talk about the fact that she hopes that her and Juliette can rebuild the trust and get back to where they once were. She says, I think I will be able to move on from it. We'll see. And Juliette said, time will tell. And obviously time will tell, because Kelsey does things like this to her friends. It's really strange. I don't know if Kelsey gets jealous of her friends with certain things, and that's why she acts the way she acts. But she's done this a couple of times. So Madison, they talk about Madison, and Jeannie might ask her, you know, you were very vocal about the fact that you were ready to settle down with Ish. And you guys, at the end of the season, Madison announced that her and Ish would be moving to LA, and they asked Madison, like, are you any closer to your dream of living in LA with Ish, settling down, getting married, having kids? And they bring Ish on, and they talk about the fact that they just bought a house, and Madison reveals that her and Ish are engaged, which it seemed like the only one that knew about that was Chloe. Because if you watch all the little faces on the Zoom, when she shows the ring, Chloe does like a little dance, like yay, like kind of like she already knew, but everybody else seemed very surprised about that. Ish looked a hot mess, but I guess it's because he was off working, but looked happy, she looked healthy, and she talked about the fact that her and Ish, they bought their first home, and he proposed their first night in the home, that she was like taking a selfie. It was their first night there, and she turned around and Ish was on one knee. So she seems very happy, not pregnant yet as far as we know, but they have bought a home and they are engaged. So now next up, Chloe is actually one of my favorites. And I know like a lot of people say that she's like a crap starter, but in the reunion, I saw a different side of Chloe. Like she cried several times in the reunion. And I think it's because when you are on TV or you have any sort of platform where a lot of people watch you, you get hit so hard. People are very judgmental, and obviously a show like Siesta Key and the part that like Chloe portrayed, a lot of her friends, it's like, oh, she's a crap starter, she loves to be, you know, messy or whatever. I feel like Chloe got a lot of heat, but she was very emotional this reunion, and they brought up the bag. Jeannie might ask her, do you still have the bag? And she showed the bag. She's like, I still have the bag is in perfect condition. But she does talk about the fact that she's learned a lot from being on TV and having people judge her and watching herself play back. Like she says, like, a lot of people don't get to watch their mistakes and see their mistakes. And she talks about the fact that she's learned from watching herself on TV and make these mistakes, and she is trying to be a better person, and I commend her for that. And you could tell she was sincere because she cried when she talked about it. She also talked about the fact that her and Madison were friends again. They were better than ever, as Madison said. Madison said that her and Chloe talk every day, so they are back at having a close friendship. They actually played the clips where Chloe and Madison were like at each other's throats a lot, and it started off where Madison first called Chloe out when Madison, Chloe, and Kelsey and Juliette went to lunch, and Chloe was telling the girls how Alex made the comment that he gave his and Alyssa's relationship like 2 or 3 years. That episode, when Chloe was telling the girls that, you could tell Madison was very bothered by it. She took Chloe off to the side and she talked to Chloe about that. And she made the comment with Chloe, and I really like Madison and I usually agree with her a lot, but I really disagree with Madison in this episode where she said, you blackmailed Alex for a bag. I never looked at it that way. And if you guys looked at it that way, leave it in the comment section below. But I always looked at it as one of those things as Alex and Juliette come creeping in the room late at night, and Chloe's like, I see you guys. And Alex was like, okay, I'll buy you whatever you want if you don't say anything. Like, I never took it as Chloe saying, I'm going to tell if you don't buy me something. So there's a big difference in blackmailing someone and saying, I will tell if you don't do something for me, versus the person saying, I'll do this for you so you don't tell. Don't you guys think? Like, I never looked at it as she blackmailed him. Anyways, they did say that their relationship was back on track. Even though Madison is in LA and Chloe is in Siesta Key, they are back being friends. So Garrett, he talked a little bit. They talked about him and Kelsey's relationship. He actually, after him and Kelsey broke up, he actually revisited his relationship with Kara, but he said that that didn't last long. Then Kara moved on to JJ. JJ talked about that because there was pictures up on social media of JJ and Kara, and Jeannie Mai asked, you know, how did that happen? How did that come about? And JJ talked about how he went out on his boat and Kara was there, and he had to comfort Kara later that day because Kara's boyfriend was mad that she was on some guy's boat. So they had a little bit of a relationship, and JJ says that the reason that fizzled out is because Kara was caught lying to him. So that's a little funny because I'm like, Kara is like Garrett, JJ, guys on the show. Is she just trying to get on the show again? She used to be on it. So I don't know. I don't really like Kara. Anyways, moving on. Garrett was not like too much a part of the reunion, not as much as the girls. It really focused in on the girls. But the biggest shock of all, besides Madison and Ish being engaged, was what happened with Brandon and Camilla. Now, if you guys watched the show, the last couple of episodes of the show, Camilla was really trying to get Brandon to settle down, get like a job. They first got back together after she come back from like Italy, I think it was, and they met up. They talked about rekindling their relationship. Early on, she starts trying to talk Brandon out of spending money on music and getting a real job, a 9-to-5 job. So Brandon did get a 9-to-5 job working at his dad's business. And then shortly after that, during Christmas time, she got him a puppy, and she starts talking about them moving in together. So Brandon seemed to be very much against it at first, but the last episode of the season, he finally agrees that they can get a house together, and Camilla was very excited. I like Camilla, but I always thought she was like a little too jealous to have a boyfriend that is in the entertainment industry. So I was like, girl, like, you're dating Brandon. He's going to be going around doing concerts around all these hot girls. Like, you can't be that jealous, you know. During the season, she threw a drink on Brandon because he was outside talking to Amanda. Now, I think the person she should have threw the drink on was Amanda, not Brandon necessarily, because I feel like Amanda was doing things to purposely make Camilla mad. We seen it. We watched the episode, and I'm not saying I dislike Amanda, but she made the comment to Chloe, I think it was, when I want something, I get it, in reference to Brandon. And Chloe was telling her, like, you know, Brandon and Camilla's together. And Amanda's comment back to her was like, well, when I want something, I get it. Not even caring about the fact that Brandon was in a relationship with Camilla. So during the season, Camilla and Brandon reunite. They get back together. They become more and more serious. He gets this 9-to-5 job to build towards them having a future. And then he agrees to them moving in together. And we learned at the reunion they're no longer together, you guys. And this is the biggest shock of all. Not only did he cheat on Camilla, which you guys can tell that she's heartbroken because she's like crying the whole time. They show their segment, like reliving the segment, showing what happened over the season. She's just bawling her eyes out. And Jeannie Mai's like, what's wrong? And she reveals that Brandon cheated on her. But not only did he cheat on her, he got someone pregnant and had a baby. Blown away. I really thought Brandon learned his lesson when he cheated on Madison. Like, I mean, him and Madison were together. I thought there was like such a cute couple, and he cheated on her. And it was filmed. It was filmed on one of the seasons of Siesta Key. Like, when you go cheat on your girlfriend or boyfriend and you have a film crew with you, you think they're not going to find out? They're going to find out. So this time, I guess I mean, at least he didn't do it while he had the cameras following him. But they reveal that he's had a child. And it's also revealed that he is no longer in Siesta Key. He's taken off to LA to work on his music career. Brandon is so obvious he is not in a good way. He cries. He has to get up and he has to leave a couple of times. And he's just not doing well, you guys. He basically, the way that it seems, Camilla's saying that he's like running away from his problems. And he's saying like, that's not what it is. He just needed to like get away and clear his head. Jeannie Mai does ask him if he has support because he's obviously, you know, going through a lot. And he says he does have a good support system. He has his family, he has his friends, but he's just, you know, going through a lot. Now, the cast members announced that they say they were just as shocked as everyone else to find this out. Amanda says that nobody else knew about it. This is the first that they're hearing about it. Brandon gets up and leaves at one point, and when he leaves, the host, Jeannie Mai, talks to Camilla and basically tries to find out exactly what's going on. And Camilla says, that this girl contacted Brandon saying, you know, that she had this baby, and Brandon told Camilla, but she said that it wasn't making sense, because from what Brandon was saying was that it was a one-night stand. So to her, it didn't make sense. So she ended up reaching out to the lady, to the female, and asking what's going on. And that she found out that Brandon knew the whole time the girl was pregnant, and that for 5 months in their relationship, Brandon was cheating on her with this other female. Now, whether or not that's true, I obviously don't know, but that's what Camilla says. She says he cheated on me for 5 months, and he knew the whole time she was pregnant, and he blocked her when she told him she was pregnant. But he knew the whole time. Other people asked, you know, do you plan on being a part of the kid's life? And he said, you know, he wants to. He plans on it, but he doesn't know if the woman's going to let him be a part of the kid's life. Amanda tells him, you know, it doesn't matter what she wants. You're the kid's dad. That's your kid. You have every right to be a part of that kid's life. So right now, though, at the time of filming, he was in LA. Camilla tells him, you need to get back here to Siesta Key and deal with your problem. So it seems like the female that he got pregnant and the child must be in Siesta Key somewhere, because that's the way that it seemed. But that was the biggest bombshell of them all, you guys, was Brandon has a child. I'm blown away. Madison and Ish, they're engaged. I feel like she'll be pregnant soon. That's what I think, because we all know that she's wanting that. And I feel like that's why she clung to Alyssa and Alex when they found out that Alyssa was pregnant, was because that was like what she wanted. So she kind of clung to them a little bit. But yeah, I wish that Jared would have been on a little bit more. Jeannie Mai did ask Jared, do you feel like Amanda and JJ make a good couple, that they need to be together? And he was like, oh, heck no. I don't think they need to be together. Also, they straight up asked JJ, have you ever cheated on Amanda when you guys were together? And he says no. Amanda reveals the fact that the last 2 months that she was with JJ, he was texting his ex-girlfriend, which he says that he felt that Amanda was being distant. So that's just what it was. So that's basically a wrap of the reunion, you guys. I cannot wait till next season. I don't really know if they've even filmed next season. They should have been filming it this summer, I would assume. But with quarantine, I don't know how that's going to work. But Siesta Key is one of my new favorite shows, you guys. I watched it from season 1. They done the first season, and they went on like a long hiatus for some unknown reason. I think it had something to do with Paul, like killing a shark or something. But they come back, and I fell right back into it. I love the show. Oh, Kelsey is dating a new guy. Kelsey is asked by Jeannie Mai if she's in another relationship, and Kelsey says yes, she is dating a guy by the name of Max Strong. Max is from Kentucky. He attended the University of Kentucky from 2012 to 2016 and played for the Kentucky Wildcats as their backup kicker. He also appeared in season 3, episode 21. If they're still together now, and we have a season 4, which I'm praying that we do, I feel like he will be on the show. But yeah, that's the reunion, you guys. Tell me what shocked you guys the most about the reunion. Obviously, Brandon being a dad, that's what shocked me the most. Yeah, if you have not watched the actual reunion, I highly suggest it, which I did cover all the key points here. And when the show comes back on, I want to start doing like recaps of the show. I can't wait for it to come back on. I'm such a huge fan. You guys let me know your thoughts and opinions about the show in the comment section below. Also, let me know what you thought about the reunion if you have watched it. And yeah, if you like this type of content, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you're notified of each time I upload a new video. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye, everyone.